as he says some bone-chilling phrases. This animatronic is amazing, and fans have been obsessed with it since it was announced last year. So of course, he had to come back for this year's season. Grimm only received a few changes, like an updated paint job as well as the ending of one of his phrases being edited. Originally ended,
"Tonight is ours."
He now says,
"Halloween is ours."
You have to be sure to watch out when the sun dips below the horizon, and the dark blanket of night lays across your sleepy little town, because Grimm and his tortured undead brethren rise to stalk the lives of the living. Cursed to walk the night for eternity, reaping misfortune and ghastly dread to anyone unlucky enough to cross their path. But don't be fooled by their wicked sense of humor. Or else, while you are laughing, you might find that your funny bone, along with the rest of your skeleton, ends up part of their army. Forever. Very chilling. As for the Grimm scale,
10 skulls. 10 skulls for Grimm. So what do you think? Which of these is the scariest and coolest animatronic? You know it's me. So if you do, leave a skull.
I'm gonna the whole video already.
To show it. Meanwhile, I will be staying.
Nope, I still have to watch it again.
M&T Bank has the knowledge and insight into our industry like no other bank does.
Babe, I'm buying this kitchen island.
New pillows?
Blender,
Rug?
glasses,
Love it. Budget?
Bed Bath & Beyond.
Every room,
Bed Bath
every
& Beyond.
moment, everything you need for your home at BedBathAndBeyond.com. Save big on kitchen, living room, and everything in between. Don't miss exclusive coupons and offers. All things home, all online. BedBathAndBeyond.com.
Okay, I know we're not done yet, but I think there's something missing in our decor this year.
I think you're right. If we love animatronics so much, we need a Spirit Halloween animatronic.
That's a great idea.
Did you order this?
Not that I know of.
I heard you want a Spirit Halloween animatronic. I am Green, and I'm here to tell you about the best Spirit Halloween animatronics of the 2022 season. They were ranked by some experts on the Grimm scale, with 1 skull being not too scary, and 5 skulls being very scary. Starting with Possessed Pumpkin Animatronic.
the Possessed Pumpkin animatronic is amazingly terrifying. Standing at 7 feet tall with evil light-up eyes, he is sure to scare anyone who crosses his path. It resembles a giant scarecrow pumpkin monster with sharp claws and teeth, wearing a brown shirt and dark green pants filled with straw. When activated, the body and head move side to side as the eyes light up, and he can be heard saying several menacing phrases.
Now it's my turn to make a jack-o'-lantern.
The story of this animatronic dates back to 100 years ago when, according to a legend, a loving mother made her son a homemade Halloween costume so he could go trick-or-treating. The other children teased him, making fun of the costume and calling him horrible names. They ended up locking
Poor
him away
possessed
in an
pumpkin.
abandoned pumpkin farm barn. And this farm was haunted by the spirits of the family who starved to death there during the Great Winter. Now, the barn is the final resting place for the poor boy's body, but his soul rages on, dedicated to torturing neighborhood kids every Halloween. Could this farm be Spirit Acres Farm? People who have brought this animatronic love him and use this animatronic for pumpkin patches and pumpkin-related decor. His size and voice makes for a great scare. Eagle Eye fans will probably recognize that this animatronic has the same mechanisms as the original Crouchy animatronic that came out back in 2019. And on the Grimm scale, the Spooky Duck Squad gave it 5 skulls out of 5.
Hard Mountain Dew with 5% alcohol is ridiculously refreshing.
Bagel Bones.
Back in 2018, one of the themes that Spirit Halloween created for the season was Spirit Acre Farms. The theme featured corn stalks, pumpkins, hay bales, barrels, a windmill, and even wooden water towers to give a spooky farm-like atmosphere. To announce it, they released a video showcasing all new animatronics for the 2018
Night Harvester.
season. And after this, Spirit Acre Farms became a fan favorite theme among Spirit Halloween fans. So much so that the theme keeps coming back. And this year, it returned as a small Easter egg on an all-new animatronic, the Bag-O Bones.
The
This is
Bag-O
an animatronic
Bones.
skeleton that resided in a burlap bag. When activated,
He
the
lives in a
skeleton
burlap
pops
bag.
up from
No,
out of
I
the
don't know
bag
about that
as
green light.
lights
I don't
glow
think he
while
lights up
screams
green.
and laughter can
Maybe
be
mine's
heard.
busted.
And in the bag, we can see that not only Spirit Acre Farms is featured on the back, but also Jack the Reaper. The story goes that the folks who live near Spirit Acre Farms don't say much about the noises coming from the old barn. Instead, they keep their heads down because they'd rather not wind up like some of their neighbors in a burlap bag by the old abandoned grits mill. And we completely agree. This animatronic is 3 feet tall and works with an infrared sensor that will make sure to scare any passerby as it screams and jumps out. The animatronic is fantastic. After all, we love a simple but effective jump scare, to be honest. Fans find this animatronic setup very simple, and the mechanism's speed makes for a tremendous scare. As for the Grim scale, the Spooky Duck Squad gave it 2 skulls out of 5.
Lucky Bottoms animatronic.
One of the most popular and recurring themes in Spirit Halloween merch are creepy clowns. And this year, there are plenty. One of these is Lucky Bottoms. Lucky Bottoms resembles a black and white clown breaking out of the ground with its arm in an upward position. When turned on, the animatronic continuously convulses as it laughs maniacally. But why, you may ask, is this clown cut in half? Well, according to Spirit Halloween, Lucky was a clown who truly believed that laughter was the best medicine and would do anything to keep the crowd rolling down the aisles. But he couldn't handle the silence when the show was over. So this drove him into all-night clubs where desperate clowns risk everything, including their lives for a laugh. And sadly,
All-night clubs where
nearsighted
desperate
magician with
clowns
lousy
risk
eyesight
anything. Jeez. That sounds not too good.
to make his legs disappear for good, and Lucky to lose his mind. This animatronic is 2.6 feet tall and moves in circular motions. It is sensor activated and also compatible with a step pad. There is no way that Lucky will not be able to scare anyone who approaches him with his laughter and movements, especially people who are already scared of clowns. Lucky's face and creepy hands add so much to the scare factor. This animatronic was well received by Spirit Halloween fans, who find that one of the coolest aspects of this animatronic is that it can also run continuously, without the need for a sensor. And because of how short he is, you can use it in multiple ways. On the Grim scale, the Duck Squad gave it 4 skulls out of 5.
Young Crouchy.
Who doesn't love Crouchy?
I do.
Well, we do too, and also everyone else. Because ever since Crouchy appeared at Spirit Halloween stores back in 2019, fans have loved to be scared by him. Crouchy was introduced for the 2019 season as a 7-foot animatronic evil clown with red hair, who was seen wearing a black and red suit, with hands that have long black nails and large shoes. This animatronic was huge and terrifying. This clown's story is sad and creepy. Crouchy had always been the scared clown in the circus, but he never intended to be scary. His size and appearance had always been creepy to people, and after trying to change everyone's opinion about him, he got tired. So he decided to embrace the horror by torturing children with his huge sinister grin that showed off his bloody dagger-like teeth. This character was so well received that Spirit Halloween began creating awesome merch featuring him. And this year, Crouchy came back as an animatronic. This new animatronic is young Crouchy, and with this, we learned a bit more about this character. According to the Spirit website, the pain of growing up orphan in the streets can only be masked by laughter, at least according to this broken child. With no friends, no family, and nowhere to turn, he joined the traveling circus. And as we know from before, he never intended to scare anyone, but with his broken posture and twisted frame, he always did. No amount of makeup could ever hide his sinister grin and sharp dagger-like teeth. So he finally embraced his true identity as Crouchy and worked to become the show's most terrifying act. This new animatronic is 4 feet tall, and his body and head turn as his eyes light up and laughter can be heard. And many people seem to agree that having this new Crouchy as a mini-me for the original one is fantastic. On the Grim scale, the Duck Squad gave it 4 skulls out of 5.
Little skelly bones.
It really shows that Grimm made this list because it's chock full of animatronic skeletons. Lil Skelly Bones made his debut back in 2015. When he was first presented, this animatronic resembled a skeletal child in a skeletal costume, swinging on a swing. When activated, he began to swing as his head turned, eyes lit up, and spoke one of multiple phrases. Little Skelly was supposed to stand guard and make anyone who attempted to approach your house and get your candy afraid. His eyes glowed ominously, and his head followed each of his victims, all while swinging creepily back and forth. His huge popularity led to him coming back for the 2016 season, and even inspired Spirit Halloween to create a video titled Take a Walk with Little Skelly Bones, featuring a live-action version of the animatronic. And of course, that's not all, because Skelly Bones came back this year. Apparently, Skelly Bones got tired of waiting on the swing, and he is now ready to play hide and seek. He left the swing behind, and now, standing at 3 feet tall, this animatronic always finds his victim with the help of his LED light-up yellow eyes. You can now see him crouching down with his hands covering his face, and when activated, Skelly jumps up as his eyes light up, and phrases can be heard. This is, in our opinion, the cutest animatronic on this list, but that doesn't make him less scary because people agree that he produces a great jump scare. As for the Duck Squad, you find Skelly Bones more cute than scary, so you gave him 1 skull out of 5 on the Grim scale.
Tombstone Terror.
Another skeleton on this list, this time is Steve Stern, also known as Tombstone Terror. This animatronic resembles a tombstone with a pile of skulls on the front. When activated, a skeleton pops up from behind the tombstone as his eyes light up and laughing can be heard. This skeleton is Steve. For years, Steve worked security at the local cemetery, and during this time, no one ever got in or out without him knowing. But when Steve passed, the local grave diggers were looking to score and cash in on some undead remains. Steve, who was always willing to work the graveyard shift, had a special connection with the spirits that rested there and would not permit it. So, now that his own spirit has joined them, he waits for any intruders to disturb their slumber before popping up from behind his tombstone and scaring the life out of anyone who dares to cross his path. The animatronic and tombstone are 2.5 feet tall and features piercing screams and a pop-up motion skeleton with light-up red LED eyes. And honestly, the way Steve pops out of the tombstone gives people a fantastic jump scare. Fans agree that this animatronic is amazing and works perfectly in a cemetery scene. And the Duck Squad agrees, because you gave Steve 2 skulls on the Grim scale.
Bog Zombie Animatronic.
Moving on to zombies, this bog zombie animatronic is great and very imposing. Just as its name says, the animatronic resembles a zombified corpse that, when activated, his right arm and body sway as his eyes light up and mouth moves to groan. Before becoming a zombie, this evil headmaster ran a privately owned orphanage, the Bayou Children's Home in Louisiana. He used to terrorize the children left under his care until one fateful night when the children rose against him and dragged his body to the nearby swamp. After this, the orphanage was closed, but according to legend, he still wanders the area on the anniversary of his disappearance. Having taken the form of a bloodthirsty zombie, he drags his decaying corpse from the water, searching the wetlands for anything, actually anyone, to feed his insatiable appetite. This animatronic zombie stands at 6 feet tall, with a menacing set of yellow light-up LED eyes, and a moving mouth that spews several bone-chilling moans and groans.
Deadpool and Wolverine is smashing records.
I marvel Jesus you
See it now. This is gonna be good. Or see it again.
Oh my god, he's gonna say it. Say what? Avengers Assemble! Sorry, what now?
We don't know that guy.
We thought we did.
Save with My Big Y Rewards. More pizza, more pancakes, more pasta, more...
Alright, welcome guys to my Friday the 13th playthrough with live commentary here. This is Lord Chaos, and I'm actually doing this in response to a request I got from one of my loyal subscribers. These are fairly easy to do, so it doesn't take too much effort on my part to hammer one of these out. And I'm also playing through one of my favorite games back in the day, Friday the 13th, which is another game by LJN gets a lot of crap, in my mind, unnecessarily so. They really get a raw deal from a lot of the fans. some of these games that they come out with, I mean, yeah, they're a little hard to figure out, especially if you're a kid. Friday the 13th was one of them, but I'm going to show you how to get through this game really easy. First thing you want to do, obviously, is pick a camp counselor who is fast, which is not this guy. Mark is the fastest counselor in the game. The other two chicks, Laura and Chrissy, they're pretty fast too, but Mark actually walks faster than everybody. And it's use the torch to light the fireplaces is incorrect. I'll talk about that here in just a second. What we want to focus on right now, this house right here in this particular area of the map is extremely important because this house contains the message that gets the quest started, if you will, to locating the torch, which is one of the most powerful weapons in the game. And you can obtain it pretty quickly if you follow the messages. And I'm just killing a few zombies here so I can get a lighter, go in here and light the fireplace. You don't need the lighter for the message to appear, but figure what the hey, while you're in here you might as well light the fireplace. And speaking about what the game was talking about earlier, using the torch to light the fireplace is incorrect. I guess developers just screwed that up. Should have been the lighter. The torch is a weapon that you can use against Jason. And here's the first message telling us about it. You hit select, by the way, to get that pink, purpley icon to pop up in that sub menu there. Go into one of the cabins by the lake. It doesn't reference the torch directly, but that is the weapon that it's referring to. I can tell you from experience. I'm sure you'll read about this online and wherever else that you get your gaming information. But before we do, we might as well stop here, kill a few more zombies along the way, because this will lead to items popping up like the dagger, which I missed earlier. As soon as I was about to go into that cabin, it popped up. The key will pop up. You'll get some vials of red vitamins, which actually come in really handy as you're working your way through the game. Jason alarm sounds, but we got a little bit of time that we can kill. No pun intended. And lighting the fireplace, working our way through these big cabins. Pretty much got this down to a fine art. Okay. And let's go into one of these smaller cabins. And let's figure out who he's after. It's going to be Debbie. So we got two choices at this point. Since we're right over in this area, we can have Mark run around and bail out Debbie. Or, since you're in one of these smaller cabins, you can actually switch to Debbie and go straight to where the business is